guys, I'm welcoming you all to another exciting episode of Movie Review with Layo on Divine TV. Have you all been? I've been fine. And in case you've not experienced this before, you've not watched this, this is an interesting, exciting segment for me that you'd always want to be a part of this program. On today's episode, I'll be reviewing 2 movies with you guys. And then the first movie that I'll be reviewing today is titled Knocking on Heaven's Door. Don't forget I told you the last time that we'll be reviewing faith-based movies. And these movies are supposed to help you check your spiritual warfare, where you're standing, if you're okay, or you still need to press on, or you need to move out, or you need to move on. Any form of it. So many of us might have watched, rather, Knocking on Heaven's Door. Obviously, it's a phrase, knocking on heaven's door, meaning that the person is either about to die or it's a die minute. You're already knocking on that door. Hey, you people should open this door for me. I want to go. You get? What could possibly make
There is power in the name of Jesus.
Majid Michael? You'd always see Majid Michael in other movies like, club movies or other. But then when I saw Majid Michael in this particular movie, I'm like, okay, this is not really telling me what I was expecting. But then, when I saw the role at which Majid played and how God converted, should I say God, or how love rather converted Majid Michael to Christianity? Because this person produces secular songs, not gospel songs, which Susu sings, and Susu's husband, that is Blossom, in person of Moses in this movie, they are both gospel singers. But then the wife is making more waves than him. This movie is simply about a marital relationship between Debbie, that is Susu, and Moses. And now an untold story from Moses' past tries to jeopardize their seemingly good marriage. There's so many marriages out there that seem so perfect, but it's not perfect. So many relationships seems perfect, but it's not perfect. Why? Because so many people in church space or in a religious particular circle are not wanting people to judge them, or I'm a role model to people. I don't want them to say this about me. Or I'm a role model to people. People are seeing me. People are looking at me. If I do this thing, they will talk. They will pass judgment. I don't want them. That marriage is. I must stay inside that marriage even when it is not safe. Now that is the story of Susu in this movie. A progressing gospel singer that has made names for herself, that she's everywhere, and then people want to sign her because yes, her songs touch souls. And then the husband, on the other hand, has this particular problem going on with themselves. Regardless of who you are, the problem you're going through, as long as you accept it and you know that this problem, I'm going through this problem, and you know that God will definitely help you, He will save you, as long as you're not hiding. That this is no, you're not doing. God is everywhere. He sees everything. You've accepted it, that this is who I am, and He's definitely going to accept you for who you are. So tell Him that, God, these are my flaws. I don't want my flaws to ruin everything I hold dear to my heart. So help me. Are you passing through any mental illness that you don't know how to hold your fist back? You just want to fight. You want to eat somebody. People that we know that I want to be like Jesus, they don't throw fists. All they do is ask for peace. That God, give me that eternal peace. Peace from within, that I can find peace within myself. And I can what? I can be as a normal human being that I should be. So I can spread love to other people. Now, Moses could not spread love in his house. So it is not left for Susu to what? To keep facing the battle, because she had a miscarriage 4 different times, because her husband at home, a gospel singer like her, is always beating her. Then it got to a particular stage where he was even envious of her progress. So that is like a marriage where you have your own enemy close by your side. Her husband was her enemy, which is not supposed to be so in a gospel house or in a Christian house. Or, don't let me use the word just Christian, because we have so many religions. So enjoy yourself while you are married. Enjoy yourself in your homes. Enjoy your marriage. Marry your friend. You always hear people tell you, marry your friend, marry your friend, marry your friend. But then the truth is this. Your friend cannot always be your friend in all situations. Know the person you're getting married to. Know why you're marrying that person. Even while in that marriage, when there are circumstances that are beyond your power, beyond your limit, because there are so many untold stories that you will not hear before marriage. Though this generation will make it seem like you can find out everything, but then the heart of human, in fact, the stomach of human is as long as what I cannot tell. So many things I will keep inside, I will not be able to tell anybody. Moses had his own battles. He didn't tell his wife before they got married. And now they got married, now the truth is dawning on her. But then she feels like she can manage it, but then it's beyond her power. Dear Susu, that is Debbie, fell. Should I say she tried so hard not to make these lapses in her marriage show to the public, even while she was going through a miscarriage, going through the pains and the domestic violence and everything. She was keeping it to herself. Aside from her friend, which is the doctor that also attends the same church as them, knows these things. I know women will be like, you can keep this thing to yourself. You can keep your house. You can do this. You can do that. God will help you. God will do that. But the truth is this: God only helps those people who bring that help, that problem rather, to Him. He will open His arm and what and accept you for who you are. He will open His hand and accept me for who I am. God is not a God that will be like, Chebi, I warned you. So many of us can even have the chances of praying. You've gone to meet your prophet, you've gone to meet your pastor. That pastor. Now, I'm telling us about the moral lessons of this movie, though I'm not done doing the review. But then so many of us might go to meet our pastors, our prophets, our prophetess, that I want to marry you, I want to do this, so this is the person that God has shown to me, and then I want to know if this person is the will of God, because there are times that even the love interest you've had for that person will cloud your judgment. Even in your dreams, you will not be able to tell the difference. But then you just need someone else who is more spiritually inclined than you are, and you ask them, is this the will of God for me? And then your pastor, the funniest part is this: the person you like very well, message, or the vision does not use to choose them, does not use to select that person. It's the person that you don't really like that the vision will go and select. If I am lying, you can comment on the comment section. Drop your comment, drop what you feel. It's something everybody will experience if you let yourself be in that show. Because you want God to direct you, so definitely you would go through it.
Give you a ride.
Then in that space, this is the person, then what will you do? There's so many questions in your heart that will not be answered. But then if you let God take it little by little, will definitely provide answers to them. So now, Susu was tired of her marriage. What did she do?
Everyone driving up
She was still praying, God can do it, God can do it, God can do it. But then it got to a particular point where God was telling her that this is the best action for you. Now, Majid Michael, who is a secular music producer, did something, kept watching Susu from afar, and he wanted her to switch from being a gospel artist to a secular artist. Now, if you're a singer, there are so many things you'll be going through that you will not be able to discuss with somebody. Your producers will want you to drop the type of music you're singing, because there is something inside of everyone that will definitely sell them. There is that market inside of you. There is that spirit that will be like, okay, if you can just do it this way, people will want to accept it. And it's true. If you compromise it a little bit, people will be like, yeah, this is what we want. And at the same time, this is what we want. People will be like, what is wrong with this song? Why is it changing? You are the only one that can build your story. You are the only one that knows what is good for you. But the truth is this: in your journey, don't put God out of it. Susu did not put God out of her journey. But then the person that was interested in her, that would not beat her, that was showing her all the love, that she was trying to be cautious of because of where she's coming from and who she is. She did not want people to be like, you are this, so you're a singer, that people know you so well, your marriage, you're this, no. There's so many homes like that does not know peace. There's so many homes that does not know peace, and it will not what? It will not know peace. Only if you sit down, you ask God, teach me balance. Teach me balance. What way should I go? The person I'm with is not making my life progress. The person I fell in love with yesterday is different from the same person I am seeing now. Prayer is a key, honestly. Prayer will continue and always be the key to every problem. And it will always be the solution to every problem. After you've gone through heaven and earth, you will come back and seek God in prayer. But then, even outside of prayer, checkmate your environment. What is God using to communicate to me in my environment? Is this the will of God for me? Then to end the interesting story, so Majid Michael and Susu got into something, and then The secular music producer turned what? It turned to a Christian, a gospel singer. That is the person that the devil was going to use to actually take Auntie Susu away from the gospel. God used Auntie Susu to bring him back to the gospel. As Christians, we need to know our stand, know where we are standing, know who you are before God, know who God is to you, so that any little thing will not just sweep you away from God. Marriage, honestly, is a big thing, a big issue that can take a person, either a man or a woman, away from the presence of God. Whether you're in the presence of God or you are not in the presence of God, you are a believer or you're not a believer, you're living in this world. This is God's laboratory, regardless of what anybody wants to say. You are still in front of Him. Marriage can make you hide. It can throw you back into a shell that you don't want to be in. So, brethren, before we get married, or before you get married, before you take that bold step, like I say, I do, or I do. Because this movie is honestly, they are telling us about our reality. Check your partner's mental health. Physically, are they okay? Mentally, are they fine? Financially, if they are fine. If you can take that person's financial stand, if you can help the person grow, how is my partner adding to my life? Is this person a nice person when I'm in trouble? Or when I've done something wrong, how would this person bring me back? How would this person accept me back? Are you the type that take advantage of people for who they are? Or you just don't like to treat people good? Honestly, there is no believer that you want to call yourself and then you are the type of person that do not care about how people feel. No. Humanity is the best religion ever. So checkmate yourself first. Let religion start within you. Be you. Marry yourself first before you marry another person, because you're bringing somebody into your world to come and live in your world, and your world is messed up. Your world is not a clean world for people to live in. Check everything. These two people married, that is Moses and Debbie in this movie, they had a perfect marriage, a perfect union from start. But all of a sudden, their untold secrets to themselves crashed something that was so beautiful that everyone wished for. Before Thomas da Costa entered into their life, and Moses starts to see him as a threat, even while it was no threat. Trust your partner. Build trust. Build trust. Build love. Build trust. Build love. Love is just a soft feeling that can pop up at any time. It can pop up at any time. But once trust is there, it will go a very long way. And be smart. Be caring. Be you to anybody, because that will sell you very, very fast into the hand of greatness. Anybody that tell you that the universe does not take care of anybody, that's a lie. Universe takes care of you, because it is what you give outside. That is what you will get, as long as you allow God to be the driver of your motor. I have another interesting movie, guys, to review with you guys on this same episode. Don't you go nowhere. Stay with me, your beautiful girl.
Enjoy inspirational, informative, and soul-lifting Christian programs such as Christian Parenting and Homefront, Light After Darkness, Fulfilling the Mandate, Kids and Bible, Movies Review, Shepherd's Spouse, Kingdom Stars, Teens Perspectives, My Next Gospel Event, and lots more on Divine Television. Download Divine TV mobile app on Google Play Store or watch on our YouTube channel. You can also visit www.tvdivine.net. Divine TV, enriching souls through the gospel of Christ.
Welcome back, guys. In case you're just joining me, don't worry, you've not missed. No, just don't worry. You know, you've missed actually, because I've reviewed one movie, and that is Knocking on Heaven's Door. And the second movie I will be reviewing today is Forgiveness. Everybody can actually tell what this movie should be about, forgiveness. But then, who is forgiving who? Is it man to man or God to man? How? Forgive your neighbor or love your neighbor as yourself. Forgive and forget. Is it possible to forgive and forget as a human being? No. I can forgive you, but then I cannot forget, because I don't want you to do the same thing to me. So I'll forgive you and run away from you. So I'm not forgetting. I'm actually just forgiving, letting bygone be bygone, but then I'm not going to forget it. Leave everything to God. Leave everything rather to God, and let God wipe it away from my head, because I want peace. But honestly, we will always want to learn from that past and not want it to come to play again. So now this one in particular, forgiveness is not. It's actually from man to man, because the detective here did not even exercise any form of forgiveness at all. He took his revenge. And he was able to get his revenge because a Christian did not walk in the line of Christianity at all. A Christian did not work in the line of what he preaches at all. So now let's go into the storyline of forgiveness. A popular pastor crosses forbidden boundaries as he works to save his 100-year-old church. When God is in charge of the sheep, me and you are not supposed to be saving anything because he's the only savior. If there is something to save, God will definitely save it. Yes, God will not come down from heaven to come and perform that work, but then he has his own ways. Don't forget he works in mysterious ways for his wonders to perform. But if me as a human being is saying that I am smart enough, definitely I will do something that is not in line with God because I want to save God's work. Let's not forget Uzzah in the Bible. He was trying to save the covenant, but then what happens to him? He was a sacrificial lamb for someone else's greatness. So now we have interesting cast in this movie in person of Richard T. Jones, which is the pastor Joseph. And we have Adam Lazarus White, the detective, whose wife was killed in a motor accident by the pastor. And then the detective was like, you pastor, you are not going scot-free because of the woman I saw beside you inside the car. And then we have Maya Gilbert, we have Annie Clements, and we have Kelly Pendergraft. This is not my country people, but then permit me the way I'll pronounce their names. This movie is an interesting one, honestly, because if you ask me, all pastors, this movie is directed to pastors of our generations that just preach and they do not follow what they preach. Now, there's a tagline here that says, if a man trespasses against you, rebuke him, and if he repents, then forgive him. But in this case, we're a person that we all look up to as a role model to the society because this church gathers money, we build a whole lot of stuff for the society so that society can gain from them and all. But then in the process of rebuilding for the society, they are destroying the society because what you are carrying is something people know as grace. This is the house of God where people can actually run to. Now, something happened before I entered the studio, whereby somebody says, this is not ministry, it is company. To be frank, the way most people view churches these days is that church is what? Church is a company. You don't call church ministry. Because what? Because church, the money at which church gets inside of it, or people, the money at which people donate inside church, even in business organizations, you cannot raise that money. So people will tell you, I will just go and look for chair. I'll put people there. I'll get one fine girl that can sing. I'll get like one pastor, one of my friends will gather as pastor. She means for us to make money. Then you see, I'll just carry chair. People will start coming. They will drop offerings. They will do this. They will do that. They will do this. They will do that. Before you know it, money don't come. Money is here already. We can do this. We can do that. Honestly. Now, back to the church now. The church adds a prostitution office outside the church, whereby the account number for the church is what is the money, the money this hookup girls get enters into the church account. And now the pastor's marriage is breaking because the pastor does not even have time for his own marriage. His wife does not even see him at all. Now your ministerial job as a pastor, as a man of God, is not complete if your wife is not even getting enough of you. Because you're selling your marriage to jeopardy. You're selling your marriage out there. And then when people have problem with their marriage, they come to me and be like, oh, God, bless your children. Oh, God, do this. Oh, God, do that. No. Christianity is not pretense. Following protocol does not mean you should forget the core line of what Christ's preaching is or what Christ's teaching is. But then the long part, the ending part of the movie caught me in a sense that after the pastor was caught, because the detective at which his family was killed through a motor accident made sure that he went in depth. He went to search for the means that this church is doing to get money. What people say you are giving to the society? How much is coming inside the pocket of the church? Who are your church members? How wealthy are they? If not, that means there is something else that you guys are doing in this church that what people are not knowing about it. Then the detective took upon his time. He searched it up. Don't forget, your judgment as human being starts from this word. Whatever it is we do, we will get the reward from here. Then heaven reward, heaven judgment when you get there. Whatever you sow, you shall reap. If the pastor has actually sowed good seed for real, instead of him getting the reward that he later got, or whereby somebody was planning on how to bring him down, it would not have succeeded. The dictative brother would not have succeeded. But then because the pastor himself was not even faithful to what he called his service, then what happens to him? He loved God for real. He loved God for real. But to be honest, what God is asking from me and you is transparency. Be transparent to what your calling is. Show God that this is who you are. Even without showing him, he knows you. But he wants you to come out clean. Then this pastor was sentenced to the prison to go and serve some terms in the prison. And when the pastor got there, he saw criminals. Then the pastor concluded that yes, God did not really call him what? To go and serve in the open space, but rather in the public, because there are so many souls that are perishing in the prison. Then the pastor took it upon himself, despite the fact that people in the prison has already what? They've heard the news of the pastor. They've already heard the gist. So people are like, So people that say that God forgive people, oh, God do this. So people that we're supposed to be running to, that you are our savior, oh, after God, though, you are the one, you said you are here because of prostitution. So how many? There were times that these people would make jest of him. But then he was accepting everything that they were throwing at him. He was accepting it, and each time he will pray. He will go down on his knees. He will pray. He admitted that yes, I was wrong, but God, please forgive me. He was not ashamed of what man will say, because he actually had the chances of what? Of not pleading guilty, but then he pleaded guilty because that was what was right to do. Yes, he did that. But then at the long run, it paid off, because what God wanted him to go and do in the prison, he did it. And then there were so many souls that were saved in that same prison. If you as a pastor or as an evangelist or as a Sunday school teacher, your work is still just within the confines of your church or just your area. Some preachers don't even go outside to go and preach to people that God is the only way, the truth, and the life. And there are some preachers that once they get to you, you, see what you are wearing. God does not say that you should wear this one. God does not say that you should do that one. God does not say that you should do this one. No. Preach the gospel of Christ to people. Forgive people. Let them, teach them forgiveness. Teach them how to forgive. Teach them how to be themselves. Give them the true fruits of Christ. Teach them how to grow spiritually. Teach them how to grow in the word of God. Teach them how to build. Teach them how to go into the world and tell all nations that Christ is what? Christ is the only king. Do not spread pretentiousness to people. Don't spread it. Don't sell it. Give them what they want. Give them what Christ wants. Now, this pastor did that in the prison. He had that chance and opportunity to what? To rebuild himself. Then he got back home, his broken home. God helped him to fix it. Regardless of what his mistakes was, God helped him to fix it. His wife was seeing him at home as a different person before the whole secret leaked out. His wife was saying, my husband is this, my husband is a pastor, my husband is a well-known man of God, my husband does not do this, but then in secret, the husband is something else. But then there's nothing that God cannot fix. God fixed the broken home. So I don't know what anybody is going through right now. God can also fix you. So please watch this movie and learn from it that yes, forgiveness is what is the only key to having a fruitful and sustainable spiritual life. Watch this movie and see that without you forgiving somebody, your faith is yet to grow up. Watch this movie and know that for my spiritual life to grow, I have to be able to forgive people. Because without forgiveness is actually a test from God to man. When you offend me, you slap me one time, then I should turn the other face to you again to slap. You should go. Then you should come back again and slap me again. I will slap you back as a human being that I am. But then God has taught me that what? I should learn to forgive and forget. God will help us to learn to forgive and forget. And that is the end of our movie review today. It was a nice time with me to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it because I personally enjoyed myself. I remain your lovely host, Layo S1, and this is Divine TV. Keep watching Divine TV. Divine TV, enriching souls through the gospel of Christ.